Good evening, and welcome to the Variable Y Minute with your host, the Variable Y. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to revisit something that we kind of touched upon on Monday. And I guess I kind of want to know where you guys are coming from on this and see if I'm tripping or if somebody else is. So I think I told you guys before that earlier in the week on Monday, I touched upon briefly the fight from over the weekend, and I talked about how Deontay Wilder, he should be very proud. He's got nothing to hang his head about. He just got beat by a better fighter. Happens, no big deal, right? So, and I also think I told you guys I have a friend, a really good friend, who was very vocal in our group chat about how we should be applauding Wilder and we shouldn't talk about Wilder and all this other stuff that, quite frankly, I think is nonsense. I mean, this is what we do. We watch, we critique, we love things. I'm not even going to say sports. This is what we do. This is what our society is. It's a bunch of people who have unique opinions and see things differently. And we like to mention those things. We like to mention them to whomever will listen, which is why I'm in front of you guys now. And so that was over the weekend. We had a very heated discussion, I'll say, for about 30 minutes personally about this. And I think we came to the same agreement. Well, let me not say the same. I think we both came to an understanding that, okay, let's just put all cards on the table here. Let's just keep it real, right? So my friend is of the impression that because Wilder is black, that we are not supposed to, let me not put words in his mouth, but it seems like because he's black, we're not supposed to say that he is not a great fighter, and we're not supposed to say that he didn't lose to a better fighter, I guess. He even like reposted in our group. He sent us a tweet that Floyd Mayweather sent out, which kind of said the same thing. Like, don't hang your head. As soon as you lose, everybody's downing you. And it's like, well, for the benefit of, not benefit, but for the exercise of critiquing or of talking about something that we've seen, yeah, that's what we're going to do, because that's what we do when it comes to all this stuff. That's what we do with LeBron James. If he has a bad game, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about him specifically and what he did. That's what we do for Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a bad game. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about him specifically. And if he does something wrong, we're going to talk about that. I don't know if it's just the fact that it's not a team sport. It's a sport where it's just one person. I don't know if it's the fact that it really was a black dude versus I would say white dude, but he's from another country. So, say what you will about that. But there have been black heavyweight champions before, and they've gotten knocked out, and we talked about all of them. There was a champion who fought Lennox Lewis. I believe it was Oliver McCall. My mind slips me here. I'm kind of getting older, but there was a champ who fought Lennox Lewis who didn't want to come out of his corner, and they threw in a towel. We all talk about Roberto Duran no mas when he decided he didn't want to fight anymore, and we all talk about Buster Douglas, who after beating Mike Tyson, after whooping Mike Tyson, ballooned up to about maybe 280 and was in no shape to fight for the heavyweight, to defend his heavyweight championship against Evander Holyfield. So what seems to be the issue with this? Again, is it just because he was white? The guy he lost to? And again, losing to another undefeated fighter who you just had a draw with is no small feat. You know, you go out there and you hit the guy with a couple of hard punches, you knock him down twice, he gets back up. That's not something you're accustomed to. None of us are accustomed to seeing that, because everybody we've seen you fight, except for one guy, you knocked the hell out. So, okay, you got knocked down. Here's the part of the story where it gets interesting. Here's the part of the story where you can actually get people behind you. Is if now you go back to training, you go back to you know, the gritty side, the gutter side, whatever, however you want to phrase it, and you go back to your roots, and you go back to when you were starving, you go back to when you were you had nothing, nobody knew who you were just knocking dudes out, and then you get back in that gym, and then you watch you watch the film of both of these fights, and you go out there and you beat him, because for all intents and purposes, most likely we're going to get a rematch. So just go out there and reclaim your championship in the rematch. And then maybe everybody will shut the hell up with all of this. I don't understand. I don't understand why we so damn soft that we can't say, yeah, man, black dude got knocked out. Okay. Whatever. You know, hey, he got knocked out. Nobody said he was a fraudulent champion. Nobody said that he wasn't exciting to watch, because when we watch boxing, most of us want to see somebody get knocked the hell out. And that's what he did. He delivered on that. You can't box forever. A lot of guys sit up there, they deliver. A lot of guys sit up there and have great fights. And then all of a sudden, like that, it's gone. How many of us remember when Roy Jones was the most exciting boxer out there? And then he ran into Antonio Tarver. And what happened after he got knocked out? So maybe I'm tripping. Like, you guys, please let me know. And I seem a little erratic tonight, because it's like I really can't wrap my brain around this argument, man. I just don't get it. I don't understand what people don't get about this. He's a boxer. Boxers don't win every fight. A lot of them get knocked out. A lot of them do something that they ain't, you know, they're not ready for. They get fights they're not ready for, and they get knocked out. So what? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean that he was never the heavyweight champion of the damn world. I just don't get it. So again, guys, maybe you guys can help me understand it. And if you got anything, yes, just leave comments. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm tripping. Let me know if my friend is tripping. And let me know if neither one of us is tripping. But I just need to know. I need to know what you guys think, because again, I don't get it. So I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. You can catch me on all forms of social media at one point or another. You got me here on YouTube at the Variable Y Minute. You can catch me over on Instagram at Variable Y. And then you can catch me over on Twitter at The Variable. Have a great night, you guys. Work hard. Hug your loved ones. And I'll see you soon.